Welcome to TDY, where we grow more each day. My name is Winnie, and yes, you caught me. I am not wearing pants right now, and I feel like if I don't gotta wear pants to work, I don't gotta wear pants for YouTube. I really felt like in this video, we had to take a huge step back because a lot of the time, like, we're projecting into our future when we're thinking like, all right, I wanna be financially secure. I wanna be financially independent. I wanna be financially free. Like, we throw out all these buzzwords, right? But like, we're trying to reach a goal, and a lot of us don't necessarily know where that goal is. Like, how much do you have to be considered financially secure? Or like, what is financial freedom for you? So these are questions that plague all of us, but nobody really takes the time out to figure this stuff out. So they really don't have a roadmap for their destination. They just have a bunch of wishes. And I'm definitely speaking to myself because to a certain point, I was in that exact same boat. Like, if somebody asked me how much I needed to be financially secure, I would have said like $100 million. Like,
$100 billion.
but then I realized that like it's actually a lot less than that. Like, financial freedom, for me at least, right, which can be completely different than financial freedom for you, is quite different than what I expected it to be. So today I really wanted to dive deep into that and kind of analyze what financial freedom is and figure out how to get there. I am also going to present a perspective which I, sprinkle in there. I'm not going to tell it to y'all now because I want y'all to stick around for the video. So there's actually 5 levels of wealth. And according to my man's Tony Robbins, you see this? Thick guy right here, 700 pages of just knowledge right here. According to this book, there's 5 levels. There's security, there's vitality, there's independence, freedom, and then absolute freedom. So essentially what security is financial security is like when you have all your basic needs taken care of. That's like your basic transportation, right? Your car insurance, car note if you got one, like your food is taken care of, your basic insurance like health, dental, not like, I don't know, cactus insurance or something like that. Like, you don't need that. But like rent, for example, your housing is also taken care of. That's under security. Now vitality, matter of fact, I got something for y'all. Y'all ready for this? Blat out. All right, so I hope that y'all can see this. I really do hope that you guys can see this and I'm not wasting my time. Okay, so security, it is what it is, right? It's your basic living expenses. That's like rent, that's food, utilities, transportation, and your basic insurance pretty much. So for me, I just did this with like my example. My rent, $1,700, my food for the month, $300, utilities, $300, transportation, this is like my car note, my car insurance, Ubers whenever I take them, $600 a month, this is like if you take trains and stuff like that. And then my basic insurances come up to about $200 a month. So my basic expenses in a month is about $3,100 right now. So that equals about $40,000 a year, right? So for me to be financially secure, I need to be pulling in at least $3,100 every month. $3,100 a month, or $40K a year, after taxes of course, to be financially secure. So now, financial vitality, what does that mean? Essentially what that means is all your basic living expenses as well, like all this blue stuff right here, which equals about $40K a month, that plus about half of your luxuries. Whatever like a luxury may be to you, right? Like going out to eat, taking your girl out, spending bread on your family, buying some cheap stuff, like small luxuries, right? So half of those small luxuries, like for me, I put clothing, I maybe spend $400 on clothing on a wild month, but half of that might be $200, entertainment, that might be $250 because it's half of that. Little luxuries around, I might spend $500 on that, but since it's half, we're looking at $250. So on top of that $3,100 for just my basic necessities, for me to reach financial vitality, to be able to afford half of my small luxuries, I would need another $700. So that would make $3,800 a month or $46K a year for me to reach financial vitality. Now, for like independence, right? Like that sounds like, whoa, like I'm financially independent, da da da. Yeah, calm down. So financial independence is, imagine you got all your basic expenses, that same 40K, but now you have all your small luxuries. So this can be things like going out to eat. This can be things like going to the club, like, you know, Netflix, like whatever you consider a small luxury, it goes under that financial independence route. Once you calculate all of that, so for me, like my small luxuries, I would say is probably clothes, food, entertainment, and like I'll occasionally splurge and buy things like every once in a while, like this camera, like my drum set, you know, like this TV, a bike, whatever, like, you know what I mean? I got it, so I do it. So if you take your basic expenses and you add your small luxuries to it, so my small luxuries in a month probably are like $1,400 on a wild month. That equals a total of $4,500 a month, or about $55K a year after taxes. And that's for me to be financially independent. So financial independence for me is $55,000 a year. So the question I gotta ask you is, what number makes you financially independent? What number takes you to financial vitality? And what number makes you financially secure? This is kind of like a really important exercise because we're all trying to get to somewhere, right? Like we're all trying to get here. But how do we know what here is if we don't know what here, and here is? Like, how do we know what number would make us financially free or give us financial freedom or even absolute financial freedom, right? If we don't understand security, vitality, and independence first. And just for me to break it down a little bit more, security is just your basic expenses. Vitality is your basic expenses plus half of your luxuries, small luxuries. Independence is your basic expenses plus all of your small luxuries. Freedom is your basic expenses plus about 2 to 4 or 5, depending on how it is, bigger luxuries. This can be like a second home, you know, a brand new car, a yacht, I don't know, vacations, etc., etc. Like whatever is a big luxury for you, that's what it is. Absolute freedom is completely up to you. That's whatever you want it to be. Like if that's owning a yacht, if that's owning a plane, if that's owning an NBA team or an NFL team, absolute freedom is at the top. That's about 2 to 5 more luxury items, like more luxurious type items than even financial freedom. So for me personally, I'm 40K for security, I'm 46K for vitality, I'm 55 for independent. I make a little bit of a jump, you know what I'm saying? I like to spend money on things I enjoy, you know what I'm saying? So for me, freedom jumps from 55 to 270K a year, which is not bad. And then absolute freedom for me is 500K a year. So I know like some of y'all, like y'all might be looking at that like, boy, 500K a year, that's it? Yeah, that's really it for me. Like if I were to make 500K a year every year, like I would be totally fine, like doing everything that I need to do. Obviously, I don't ever plan on stopping like once I get there, but like 500K a year for me, like is very, very calm, muy tranquilo. Cannot stress this enough. Finding out these numbers, writing them down, making them a reality, having them sink into your subconscious is literally the first step. Because if your mindset doesn't change, then your actions won't change as well. So I really encourage you, if you haven't done so already, like pause the video, take like 5-10 minutes, do some research and figure out how much you really need to achieve these levels of wealth. I bring this up because none of us can deny the importance of money. We literally all can agree on the fact that it's impossible to live in this world without money. But I think a lot of us have the wrong ideology of money. See, a lot of us don't see money for what it is. And money is a tool, it's a means to an end, it's a vehicle. It's meant to have a purpose. And when that purpose is accomplished, you're supposed to find something else to do with it. Now, I'm not saying spend frivolously. I'm just saying give your money a purpose. And sometimes that purpose might cause you to stack your bread for several years or several months and practice maybe some delayed gratification. Like maybe you don't need to take that trip to Cali. Like maybe you just need to stack your bread, so that you can be happier when you finally get enough to put a down payment on your first home. Money also should not just be hoarded between you and your family if you got family money. You wildin', cuz. There you go wildin', Winnie. There you go wildin', man. Nah, man, it's about me and moms. Me and moms gotta eat. Boy, if you don't... First of all, you wild ugly, I'll tell you that right to your face. Second of all, I understand that you gotta take care of your family. I understand your family gotta eat. What I'm saying is, if money dies in the hands of your family and is not redistributed across to people that are less fortunate, then you literally become part of the problem. I can almost guarantee you that it's going to reflect in your finances and, more importantly, in your character after a certain amount of time. I forgot that I was in a meeting at work.
Hello,
Give me
guys.
1 second.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Let's give everyone a couple of minutes so we get everybody on.
I'm on. Yes. Sorry.
We're back. Just focus on me. Focus on me. All right. So remember when I asked you how rich did you want to be and why? Well, this interaction is about to make a little bit more sense. If you remember what I said before, for me to reach financial freedom is going to take $270K, right? The amount that I specified, right, that $270,000 is now what I and my family depends on to continue the lifestyle that we have, to live that maintained lifestyle. So now if one of my friends comes in and asks me for an additional $10,000 or an additional $15,000, I will be more inclined to say hell no to the friend simply because it would be taking out of my family's lifestyle. That is the exact reason why $270,000 is not enough. The thing is, we feel a moral responsibility for our families, which is why we include them in our budget financially. But my question to you is, do you also feel a moral responsibility for your neighbor? And if so, are you including them in your budget as well? So now, don't get me wrong. Once again, I'm not saying that you should be just handing out fish instead of teaching people how to fish, right? But I'm saying, like, if somebody's dying of thirst and you have 2 water bottles in your hand, are you going to give them a water bottle, or are you going to point them to the nearest Walmart to go find water the same way you did? Of course not. You're going to hand them a water bottle, which is why if somebody comes to you with a dire need, you should be able to hand them over money when they need it. I love my Christian brothers and sisters, but honestly, we suck in this area right here. A lot of the time, like, we wait and we pray for answers when you can be the answer. I can't wait for the day where I can sit down with my kids and we literally go over our finances and I break down to them that the secret sauce of wealth behind my family is generosity.